Hello and welcome to the Redbrick Sport podcast. Today we're joined by Alex and Harry.
Oh yeah.
Hello.
And yeah, it was a fairly uneventful weekend of football.
Jimmy.
I mean,
There's
there wasn't a lot of drama.
I have to disagree with that.
Of course there was.
Go on then, put your statement in.
Well, I don't want to sort of summarise every event of the weekend in 30 seconds, but
Kilmarnock beat Celtic 1-0.
yeah, exactly.
That's relative.
Aston Villa got a win, that's very
6 in a
controversial.
row. 6 in a row. Any other week I'd be like, oh, good joke, mate. But
Yeah.
we have won 6 in a row now. So.
In all
Doesn't really
seriousness,
Go
Arsenal won 5-1.
It did. It was a very solid victory.
Yeah, it was a weird moment for me because I was simultaneously watching a boxing match featuring two YouTubers.
As was I actually.
Yeah.
Hence why I missed Aubameyang's goal.
Yeah, but you did get to see, other people performing well. But we'll leave
Whose
that
win
now.
was more convincing, KSI's or Arsenal's?
I'd have to say Arsenal's,
Yeah.
although they're quite similar. Really.
KSI's.
Well,
I haven't
both,
seen Everton's performances this season.
yeah,
It doesn't surprise me. They were complete shambles at the back.
they were.
Arsenal would have had to
weird.
try to
Yeah.
not get 5 goals
But
against
did
them.
you not think that Everton team was like a sign they'd given up already? Like as soon as the game started, like Martina at left wing back and Kenny at right wing back.
And when you've got like Calvert-Lewin as your main target
Yeah.
man,
I mean, he
on
did
front,
score, but
Yeah, he scored, but like
it's not good.
he's not Premier League like starting
No.
big man.
When Nias started, but you know my fondness for Ivan Nias.
He is Alex's favourite player ever.
He would bang in the Bundesliga. That's all I'm going to say.
As Batshuayi has been banging in the Bundesliga
Yeah,
since his exodus.
Can we talk about Arsenal a bit more?
Sorry,
first?
yes.
Well, obviously, Aaron Ramsey getting his first career hat trick.
Yeah.
That's lovely.
Came out of nowhere, didn't it? Has he scored this season?
Yeah, he's got a few, but he's nothing like.
He
Close.
scored a will, didn't he?
Yeah. But he's obviously been injured, sort of in and out of the team. Wilshire's come back to prominence a little bit, and yeah,
So they're looking
Ramsey.
to tie down Ramsey for some
Yeah.
more years now, aren't they?
Yeah, they should do. I mean, there's this sort of whole debate that's existed throughout the last 8 to 9 years at Arsenal because they've both been at the club between who's better, Ramsey or Wilshere, and it's sort of like a pendulum continually swinging back and forth. But I have to say it is Ramsey. Although they're completely different players. Like Ramsey's a very attacking-minded sort of goal-scoring midfielder.
Mm.
He's a bit like Frank Lampard, really.
Yeah.
Whereas Wilshire's a bit more the
Box to box.
Yeah, Wilshire's a bit more like Paul Scholes. He's a bit more won't score as much.
Yeah.
If he does get forward,
Well, Scholes scored quite a lot of goals.
He did.
He scored 100.
He did, but then in the end, he was sort of very
Yeah.
he retreated quite a bit. But yeah, so that would be my opinion on that one. But it's really good to see him getting a hat trick.
Arsenal's season's really weird now.
It
But the
is.
thing is, if you look at it win the League Cup and then prepare a squad that can challenge for the league next season, then and then if you do challenge next season, then ironically finishing 6th or whatever could be.
A blessing in disguise.
Yes.
Yeah, it could be. But I think we've got to try and win the Europa League. Although I like how Madrid and Dortmund are both in it, so it might prove a little bit different.
But we've seen in past years, teams that don't play in the Champions League can challenge for Chelsea last year.
Definitely.
And you'd definitely rather win the league than. Would you rather win the league than the Champions League?
At this moment, yeah, because it's more of a sort of. Well, obviously, although we've not ever won the Champions League, it's more of a sort of. People like to banter Arsenal the fact they've not won the league for 14 years. It'll be come May. So.
Also, it's kind of an element of consistency. And if you can build that, if you can build a squad that gets that level of consistency, then you can kind of concern yourself with European matters because you could win European competitions based on arguably luck in a couple of.
Yeah, well, that's what Chelsea did, didn't they? Basically.
Chelsea, I would say, I don't know. Obviously, we deserved to win in the end, but a lot of people would have said we didn't deserve to be in the final type thing. And given how our season went that season as well, that's kind of a case in point.
You finished 6th, didn't you?
We did indeed, yes. But we won Champions League.
But yeah, exactly. Back to Arsenal though. I'm not sure. You could be optimistic about it and say that game was like a nice little. We'll look forward to the future now. But I'm really not sure that that's the case. Like obviously Mkhitaryan coming in for his home league debut, getting 3 assists. Aubameyang looked good. Didn't have many touches of the ball, which worries me because we've just got rid of Giroud, who was literally like perfect for hold-up play, and now Aubameyang is almost the opposite of that because he's just about finishing and he's clinical. But will that work in the Arsenal side?
I think it'd be beneficial to have Mkhitaryan there.
Yeah, definitely.
I think
3 assists, didn't he?
Yeah, in one game.
I think that combination, especially for Aubameyang, will be
definitely. Mkhitaryan equalled Alexis Sanchez's assists this season in one game.
Really?
Yeah.
Sanchez only had 3 assists
in the league. Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
I know. There you go.
Wow.
Maybe he's not as good as everyone thought. But the defence still look. Even though we won 5-1, the defence still looked shaky, and like Everton are absolutely abysmal on the attack.
They were pretty poor.
We've got Spurs next weekend, so I'm not sure how we'll fare in that game, given their reasonable performance on Sunday.
It's true.
And obviously they beat United the other week, didn't they? They look very convincing in that game.
Yeah.
But in terms of the top 4 now, I really can't. Unless Chelsea fall away considerably, but I don't see it happening for more than 3 or 4 games now. I think we've just got to set our sights on, just doing as good as we can, and then trying to win.
Well, because Spurs have a game in hand over you,
yeah,
as well as Liverpool.
I think you'll beat Spurs next. Is it next weekend?
Yeah.
I think Arsenal will beat Spurs.
It's interesting. You're quite a Spurs fan as well, Harry. So that is uplifting.
Not
to me.
really. Just
if you look at the goals Arsenal have conceded, like obviously Liverpool have conceded 29, which isn't great, but Arsenal have conceded 35, which is just frankly unacceptable. It's just so many.
Need a better keeper.
Yeah, we do.
Better check is bad.
Do, but
I've been saying for years.
Who would that be?
Yeah, exactly. Jack Butland.
Jack Butland, okay, yeah, fine, but he's a shot stopper and not a distributor.
He's not a distributor, no. But I wouldn't say he's just a shot stopper.
Well, no, I mean he's
not
got a
that
lot
good
of qualities, but like.
But Petr Cech's not a distributor, as you saw against Swansea.
Yeah, true enough. But I'm not sure who. Like, obviously, it all hinges on like what Cech wants to do himself. Because in all honesty, if he wants to carry on, chances are Wenger will just let him.
He'd be an amazing second choice keeper, to have in the change.
/ goalkeeping coach.
Yeah.
Because he's the most experienced goalkeeper in world football. Really.
Exactly, yeah.
Like, he has to be.
He'd be amazing. Maybe become the new, what's his name? Was it Richard Wright, who was like a third choice keeper
Richard
for
Wright,
10 years?
Yeah, he got, I think he's picked up like 3 Premier League winners' medals, making no appearances. So, yeah, that's quite nice, isn't it?
That's what Chelsea did as well. 2014, when Courtois came back, Petr Cech acted as secondary.
It'd be interesting to see if many other goalkeepers like Edison will emerge from other leagues and like make more appearances. But like, I feel like if that happens, it would be a mistake because the only reason City can do it is because they can play out so well.
Yeah.
Like if you put Edison in a League One team, he would be average. He'd obviously still be. Like,
I don't get your point. If you put him in like a team that doesn't play to his strengths,
yes, he wants to.
Then his strengths are nullified in a team that want to just like him to just be a shot stopper. Like if you put him in Swansea's team, who's someone who faces a lot of shots, you might.
There's an idea. Why don't Arsenal get Fabianski back?
Well, this is the thing. So Arsenal's got rid of Fabianski and Szczesny. But Szczesny now has usurped Buffon at Juve. Like Szczesny's playing most weeks instead of Buffon, and it's like we've let him go. I think we sold him for like 11 million or something. Yeah. So like
to Roma.
No, it was to Juve. So he was on loan at Roma,
so.
And then he came back over summer, and then we sold him to Juve. But like everyone in Italy really rates him, and he's only 27.
Yeah.
Which, it's cliche, but it's reasonably young for a keeper. He's still got a few years in him. So it's a bit depressing, really. I'm not sure where we go from here. RE goalkeepers and reinforcements in the summer, but we'll see. It all depends on whether Wenger's going as well, because he's previously said that, because obviously he'll have 1 year left on his contract this summer because he got a 2-year deal, and he's previously said loads of times that the last year of a contract is in it's up to the club. So it's not like they would necessarily let him honour it. But I think they probably would, just out of goodwill.
Goodwill.
But yeah, so positive result, but it's not the start of it.
It's not groundbreaking, definitely.
Right. Any other football games?
There were some other ones. Burnley Man City. We talk about
that was really interesting.
Talk about Danilo's goal was absolutely incredible.
Save at 1-0, and then Sterling's miss.
Yeah. But I just obviously Sterling's very easy target, isn't he? For
I have sympathy for him in this instance.
Well, yeah, I having played football myself, you can miss chances like that, and it's not like players who it doesn't. It's not necessarily indicative of his quality that he missed that chance.
It's like any player. Messi misses that. 1 in 100, Messi misses that.
Exactly.
It just doesn't say anything.
It's just the law of averages.
And think about how many goals he scored exactly like that this season.
Yeah.
I mean, it's only
balls across the box from Walker.
It happens.
Yeah. So
his reaction to it was quite funny. The way he just sort of stood there in disbelief and then just slammed on the floor.
Yeah, you would though, wouldn't you? Yeah. If you realise that. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't really matter at the end of the season. That miss will be entirely irrelevant. But
because City already drew a game, so they're not going to go.
Yeah. Lost a game.
Yeah, lost a game. Sorry.
So that was it was a reasonably interesting game. Bournemouth, Stoke City. Paul Lambert losing his first game in charge of Stoke. So that's nice for him, isn't it?
He's a terrible manager.
I actually think Lambert won't take Stoke down. Might be wrong with that, but and Bournemouth doing really well. Obviously, Ollie. I don't know if you want to comment.
It was a massive game, for Bournemouth.
I mean, they are doing
on the Chelsea match.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to take anything away from Bournemouth, but having seen subsequent Chelsea results,
you're in disarray.
I would think that takes away from Bournemouth's achievements a little bit.
Okay, yeah, I get you. Relative terms, yeah.
In the
I get it.
Yeah, Chelsea's performance.
Do you think Chelsea will finish top 4?
Yes.
I
have no doubt that Chelsea will finish top 4. Yeah.
Spurs 1 point behind, and
2 points behind.
I mean, I still think if
is it?
Oh, yeah. 49. 50.
Yeah, sorry, no, I missed one.
I don't know if Chelsea can stop whatever this rot is that seems to be creeping into their squad again.
Chelsea got to play Spurs, surely.
We played the so we got played at home still.
Yeah, so that's a big game.
Then I would even say that we can finish above Liverpool as well.
Ooh.
I still think we have that quality in our squad, and
you do, but it's just disorganised, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but I don't think Liverpool are that kind of superior.
No, I don't disagree, but I just think
a big game circumstances, I don't think they turn out that well.
I just think Liverpool have got their house in order a bit more at the moment. And
it's true, no, definitely.
That's going to help them out.
But I think in the grand scheme of things, I reckon Chelsea can do it. Whether they will or not, I don't know.
The thing is, if Arsenal beat Spurs next weekend, they're a point behind Spurs, and then they're right back in it.
Mm-mm.
And if Liverpool lose away at Huddersfield or something like that, I know they should be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Arsenal could be back in the top 4 race.
Possibly, but I'm not even bothered about it now. It's overrated, top 4. Doesn't mean anything, does it? Champions League. We're not going to win it. It's a means to an end. Like the current squad, we're not going to win it in a way. Like I said last year, I'd rather us fall drastically to realise change than to just make the minimum requirement every single season because that won't inspire anything.
Exactly. Could you make the argument that kind of Champions League TV deals and stuff like that are contributes to the amount of funds that we have to buy players?
But like clubs can sort of raise capital in so many other areas. Like really Manchester United had an official marine engine partner for the 2015 season, and I mean, do they need a marine engine partner?
What does a marine engine partner give to them?
I'm assuming just money, engines. And they get to put them on like the coats that the players wear and stuff like that. Right.
It's not like they have their own brand of submarines.
No, I doubt it. But
if that's what I'm assuming it is, just an engine.
Yeah, it is.
For use on the water.
But the Champions League, like obviously missing out, is a lucrative thing to be into. But I honestly don't think the Champions League is is anywhere near as lucrative as the Premier League.
No.
And the TV deal increased last time it was negotiated for 2016 to 19. It increased by 71%, and with it, I think it's due to increase by about 50% from that figure this time.
Yeah. No, I've heard that.
So
you know your stats because your dissertation.
If my dissertation is on it, so I'm not. I'm not sure how that will really. I don't think it really affects teams, obviously.
So what do you actually think will happen to Arsenal? Do you think they'll just make fifth, or just not qualify for Europe?
I think we'll probably get to like the semi-final and the final of the Europa League. Probably finish fifth or sixth, and Wenger will stay. But the influence of the sort of chief... he's like been brought in as a chief scout / director of football, Sven Mislintat. And he's basically... You know that Greek defender that we signed earlier in the window? Wenger said in a press conference he was going to go out on loan when they bought him, and he hasn't. So I think there's maybe like a little bit of power shifting upstairs to Mislintat. And I mean, obviously, like... Director of football experiments can go wrong. Like you had, I think it was Kamoli at Liverpool and Spurs a few years ago. But I'd be interested to see how the power can be wrestled away from Wenger, really, if he stays. And if he goes, will we promote from within? I don't know. Will we opt for like a former player that's doing well, like Thierry Henry? Don't know.
Henry wouldn't make a good manager.
I don't think he would.
You can tell from his punditry he wouldn't make a good manager.
I'm not. Yeah, I mean, like, there's plenty of options for ex-players. Pretty much all of Arsenal's invincible squad. I think Vieira's still managing New York City FC.
Perez.
No managerial experience. I wouldn't want to take Perez. I mean,
I was going to give you a Villa stat then, but since you told me off,
he's Villa's oldest goal scorer. Yeah, I knew that one.
Villa's second oldest goal scorer. Come on.
Oh, Schmeichel.
Yeah, big Schmeichel.
Nice. So yeah, I don't really know what the future holds, but at least they've shown intention that they're willing to sign one of the best strikers in the world.
That's true, and pay in Arsenal terms, it's quite a big dollar for him.
Well, it is. I don't think Wenger would have been seen dead like 2 years ago making that sort of move, and I think it's a sign of the transfer market and inflation more generally.
Yeah,
the fact that a man who is so. He runs the club like he'd run a family household. He runs the club on like sort of, he's just making do.
Yeah.
And yeah, I do think like that is really like a sort of a good sign of where transfers have gone. But yeah, I don't know.
Fair enough. United won at Huddersfield.
Yep. Sanchez got his first goal.
No, not at Huddersfield, sorry. They were at home.
Yeah. It's a pretty uneventful game, really. I mean, who expected a different outcome?
It's not a lot, it's not a lot to say for it. Then we've got West Brom 2, Southampton 3. That was quite
interesting.
Quite a goal fest.
Southampton's third goal was interesting. The free kick.
Yeah, it was quite a good free kick, actually.
Yeah, so Buffal was like, wanted to take it.
Yeah.
And then I think Jack Stevens took the ball off and gave it to Ward-Prowse.
Yeah.
Ward-Prowse stuck it in, and then Buffal came and
Jack Stevens is an interesting player.
He scored a few goals.
Yes, but he's like a very sort of out of the limelight centre half.
Mm.
I think he must be about 23, 24.
He might come decent.
I think probably like being sort of as long as Southampton stay in the league this season, then they probably will.
It's just strange to think.
Yeah, it is, but it's what happens when you have a little bit of sort of instability. But the whole 11th down in the Prem could get relegated feasibly.
Yeah.
And it's that.
Well, Bournemouth are 9th now.
Yeah, I don't think Bournemouth.
I mean, they're only 3 points between 19th and 11th. So.
Yeah, so it just shows how much can change in a week.
Yeah.
West Brom will go down there.
Yeah, well, it's a shame because there won't be any West Midlands teams in the Premier League next year.
Well, Wolves.
Oh yeah, of course.
And then maybe Villa.
Yeah.
If not Derby, which is sort of Midlands.
It's not West Midlands, is it? It's East Midlands. So yeah, that game was pretty interesting. West Brom losing at home. Brighton beating West Ham. I suppose that's interesting.
Unbelievable goal.
Yeah, it's Kiedo. He's got a good goal against West Ham twice this season because he scored that one.
Yeah.
Against Joe Hart flapped at it.
Oh yeah,
it was still quite a good goal.
Weirdly, like the only times Brighton scored 3 goals this season is against West Ham.
Yeah.
Both home and away.
Yeah, that's it.
It's a funny stat.
6-1 aggregate score this season for them against West Ham.
Mm.
I think Izquierdo came from. Pretty sure he came from Genk, and they've produced like. Oh no, sorry, it's Club Brugge. Club Brugge. I'll leave that. I was going to say something about Genk, but it's okay.
Good player came from Genk.
Genk produced so many good players in the last 5 years. It's Koulibaly at Napoli, Leon Bailey at Bayer Leverkusen. He's coming good now. He's setting the Bundesliga alight by all accounts. De Bruyne is a Genk player. Courtois, yeah, they've got if you look at their notable players on the Wikipedia page, there's a lot from the last 5 years that have graduated, but that's by the by, I suppose.
Should we talk about the Liverpool Spurs game?
We should.
Let's do it.
Good game.
Well, I mean, weird game. First half was first half was pretty subdued. Yeah. I'd say.
I thought it was going to finish 1-0.
Yeah, I didn't think much was going to change, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, Salah getting another goal. The first goal was incredibly strange because it was it almost seemed like it was too easy to that chance just materialised from nowhere. I mean, it took a touch off Dyer, but Sanchez and
it was such a simple goal.
Yeah, it's just it's not even an error though, because it's the sort of thing where he's touched Dyer's touched the ball and it's gone backwards.
Mm.
But you've got to allow for simple sort of errors like that. It's just he's just touched the ball. It's nothing really bad, is it? And Salah steals in, scores.
I guess, and also because it's just a case of waking up, isn't it? Spurs had a taste of their own medicine from when they scored against Man United like that.
Yeah.
Arguably, obviously, it's a little bit different time-wise, but 2
11 seconds. I remember we were watching the Spurs Liverpool game, and then you look at the clock, and then it's Spurs are already 1-0 up here.
Yeah.
It's it's like a throw-in.
Makes no sense. The rest of the game, obviously, apart from the last 10 minutes-ish, was, I don't know, it was reasonably uneventful, wasn't it? I mean, there wasn't really a lot. Honestly, at half-time, I would have said Liverpool were just going to stroll on to win the game.
I predicted 1-1.
I predicted 2-2. Can you remember? Did you actually say 2-2? Yeah.
I was Kane's going to get an equaliser 1-1.
Yeah.
That was half right.
But should we talk about the Wanyama goal?
Is it goal of the season?
I don't know whether there's much to say.
It's my favourite type of goal.
Yeah.
It was
satisfying.
Just brilliant.
No touch from the keeper as well, which makes it even more special. Because goals like that.
And it's the kind of goal that looks better on different angles as well.
Yeah, the behind the goal angles got to be my favourite.
And there was no kind of deflection of the defender. It was just absolute placement.
And the spin on it as well. It's just like the way, like it literally spun. It had to spin so much in order to go in. I think that was like what's really like nice about it. But yeah, I mean, Wanyama is not something you'd expect from him. I don't think I might be wrong in saying this, but I doubt he scored more than 5 goals for Spurs in his 2 years there. He's not a goal scorer, but he's obviously got that sort of thing in his locker.
It was a little bit Jagielka-esque.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
I mean, not that Jagielka's a goal scorer either, particularly. But
it is.
Jagielka.
Yeah, Jagielka.
Phil Jagielka.
Oh, is it?
Have you not seen the FA YouTube video where he's like, "Hi, I'm Phil Jagielka," like
in his Yorkshire accent?
I haven't seen it. No.
Yeah, because it's a Polish surname, you see, so it's pronounced differently to how it may appear.
Okay, right. Fair enough.
But yeah, that's a bit of a...
Neil Warnock was still calling him Jags.
Yeah, Jags.
When he's at Sheffield United.
Jags,
when you pick up Lescott.
That documentary is probably one of the best football-related things I've ever watched. It's like Mike Bassett mixed with like the Damned United.
Mixed with True.
Yeah, it's just really, it's really, really good. So,
I mean, talking of football movies, my favourite goal.
Yeah,
we watched that the other night.
Kennedy said that when he moved there, that was how he knew a bit about the club and how it worked.
That's really nice.
I'm watching that.
That's great. I mean, me and Harry watched Goal about 2 weeks ago.
Wasn't that last week, right?
Don't know. I can't remember. Anyway, it's irrelevant. And yeah, just all the memories come flooding back of watching that, and Alan Shearer on the leg extension machine. Yeah. It's great.
Well, it was on like 20 and then he puts it up to 55.
Yeah, it's just like sighing at Santiago Muniz because he's weak.
Anyway, penalties.
Penalties. There a lot of them in this game.
There were multiple penalties. Because I saw something this morning about John Moss.
Yeah.
Apparently he asked the assistant...
Have you seen the conversation?
I haven't seen the word for word, but apparently he asked about, is there anything from the video?
Yeah, basically.
Even though there wasn't VAR in use.
No.
So I don't know how that would come to...
The linesman, he went over to the linesman and said,
why would you even ask that?
So what he did was he went over to the linesman and said, did you notice a touch there?
Yeah.
And the linesman was like, inconclusive, basically. He was just like, I wouldn't give it myself. And then John Moss just sort of like ums and ahs for a sec. He's just like, okay. And then he just like decides that he's going to give it anyway. And he literally says, I'm going to give the penalty. And he fist bumps the linesman and walks off. It's not like a deliberate, but it's like he just sort of taps him and then just really sort of jogs off into the box. But I actually thought that was pretty I don't want to say admirable. No, I think it's admirable because he's trusting his own judgment.
He's trusting his instincts.
And it's sort of fair play to him. The fact that because at the end of the day he's there in front of a crowd of 53,000 people. Yeah, and some people with a weaker
doesn't give that from
mindset.
The Stretford.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, someone might be inclined to give in to the crowd at that point, but he obviously didn't, and he trusted his instinct. And obviously, without technology, that's what referees have to do in the end of the day, isn't it?
Did you think it was a penalty?
Is this the Kane Karius one?
Well, either of them.
So the Kane Karius one, I've seen multiple angles, and there is not enough contact for that to warrant Kane going down like that.
But does he have a right to go down?
But he has I think in that moment in the game, when you're a striker who knows how to sort of use the dark arts.
But he would have got round them and scored. So
yeah, probably. Well, I don't know. Maybe thought he couldn't.
Because the angle's not that tight. Yeah.
It's not, but I mean, I think there is a slight touch from Karius, but it's nothing. It's not enough to go down. But Kane does really well to make it look like there's been a lot of contact there. Whether or not you think that's just or not, I don't know. That's a debate it's a completely different debate, isn't it? But, I think the Van Dijk one, just is a pen. There's no.
Really?
Yeah, I mean he does make contact with him. So, like, well, from what I've seen.
Well, yeah, I know, but football's a contact sport.
Yeah, but that sort of just not. I'm not having it. It's foul, isn't it?
It'd be a foul.
Just about.
I think it'd be a foul in any other part of the pitch. I think that's how you have to judge it. Like the.
Well, yeah, but do you have to judge it that way? Because in the penalty area,
why shouldn't you judge that?
Because there's a concentration of bodies there, and also it wasn't that severe. Like,
okay, yeah,
if he had come from like 40 yards out or whatever and made that contact, it's a different story from whether he's like standing next to him.
This is a similar incident in the Newcastle game, not similar type of foul, but I think it was Kieran Clark got done for pulling the shirt of Benteke or Zaha, I can't remember which.
But that was a penalty.
Was it?
I think it was.
I mean, it's a shirt pull. It's a shirt pull, but
if he doesn't pull his shirt, Benteke's probably heading that in.
Pulling someone's shirt doesn't get given. Like, it doesn't really get given as a foul. Like, unless it's really overt and the player's wearing like a tight fit shirt and it's.
I think it was because he was jumping as well. That.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's rare. All I'm saying is it's rare you see a penalty called for. What I would say is like a.
There was like a period at the start of last season where there was loads of penalties given on corners and stuff because
a lot of Stoke.
Yeah.
The Shawcross goes away
just to sort of like act as a deterrent against it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that activity is still going on and they just start giving the pens or what.
But they'll just
it'll slowly creep back in, and then there'll be another period of intense penalty giving.
That's all they need. I mean, they just need to make. They need to just increase the deterrent for players. Yeah. Send them off for diving. Send them off for spitting.
If you call the referee a naughty name, red card.
Like I've recently I was listening to a podcast in which they were describing Marco van Basten basically wants like a reformation of football rules, and he said like get rid of offside, get rid of the pass back rule, no throw-ins, you can just kick it in. I mean you can throw it if you want, but you just basically the ball has to be touched back into play.
But there's no offsides. You just get Michael Owen standing on the 6-yard line
against a 13-year-old goalkeeper.
You just get someone like sort of distracting the keeper for the whole game.
Yeah, it's quite nice. I'd be interested. No. I'd be interested to play a game of Van Basten ball.
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
there's like one random week in the Premier League season.
Yeah,
like
that'd be great.
Then it's Van Basten.
I'd enjoy it. Like, I mean, there's plenty more. You can look them up if you want, but like, it was just interesting to see his take, given that he's a football legend, and obviously, I think he's on the UEFA board now as well. So perhaps some of his rules actually might come in.
No.
But yeah, so I mean, Kane did well to step up and take the second pen.
Can't give me 2 tries.
Yeah,
I said that afterwards.
But I mean, there is the worst. It's not as bad as it could have been. Like there's 1999, Boca Juniors striker Martin Palermo misses 3 penalties in one game.
I remember that. The third one is the worst as well.
Yeah,
smashes it.
Yeah. So I mean, it could be.
Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't admirable that he took the second one.
Yeah, you got to. I mean, it's just like you can't claim to be the sort of.
I reckon a lot of people would have
shirked responsibility.
Yeah,
I don't know though, because a lot I think maybe they would have if they would have been allowed the chance, but most managers want the designated penalty taker taking the penalty regardless, unless they've been injured. So I would say like fair play to Kane for stepping up, but you kind of had to. Like there's no other choice really.
Yeah.
And Monday's game.
Monday evening's game happened.
It did.
There were goals in it, and that's all about all we need to say.
I don't think that is all we need to say. I think just weird, like. Obviously Watford take the lead in the second half? Like just
it was 1-0 half time.
Was it?
Yeah, prior to half
time.
got
sent off 30 minutes.
And then Troy Deeney scored off like 40 or 42 or something like that. That's what I find odd about it. It's confusing as to why now?
Yeah.
What's changed?
What's the trigger?
Because I refuse to believe that some form of I don't know, just like change in the dressing room or change of atmosphere has occurred just off the cuff randomly? Because there haven't been any like recent player feuds. There haven't been any like kind of
David
rumours
Luiz
of...
chucking forks at the youth players. Was it David Luiz?
It was actually Cole, and he fired a air rifle.
BB gun. Yeah, that's not like that.
There's no John Terry to keep.
I've been shot by a BB gun actually. It hurt. There on my temple. Yeah, I got shot in the head.
That's mad.
It was actually on the night of England playing Sweden in Euro 2012.
3-2. Redbrick scored.
Yeah, it's a good game. I was cycling home after watching it, and some guys had been in the pub and they shot me in the head with a BB gun.
That could have got a lot worse.
Yeah, it could have. But
living crew, lovely.
Well, that's the sort of thing that happens. Luckily, there was an off-duty police officer 2 cars behind them at the traffic lights. But I didn't report it because I made the journey a fair bit, and I was like, I'd rather not have these lads coming to look for me on my cycling route, having probably one of them got like a minor criminal charge labelled against him.
How did you know that there was a police officer too?
Because he stopped me.
Oh, right.
Like, I got over the bridge after the traffic lights. And he literally he like accelerated in front of me. He stopped his car to stop me going in front, and then he was like, "Hey mate, you alright? I've just seen what's happened." And he was like, "Oh, I got the reg. Do you want to report it?" And I was like, "Don't know."
Oh, was just 5 of them within a car?
Yeah, and he took my phone number and rang me later, and I was just like, "Nah."
How old were you?
2012, so 15.
15.
Yeah, so good times.
Good times.
It's quite the tangent from Chelsea Watford, isn't it?
I've never heard that story.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
And I got for the last year of school, all of my friends in inverted commas would just look at me like if they ever saw me out in the area, they'd just go, "You got shot," and laugh and walk away or cycle away. So that was
you got shot.
That was interesting. Yeah,
got some good chat.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
Right.
So yeah,
all Prem games.
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
Snodgrass is a good player.
He is actually. Yeah. Snodgrass. The first. Have you seen the? I'm assuming you haven't seen
the video of the goal.
Villa's first goal.
Yeah.
I've seen a fan video of the goal.
Yeah.
No, not the Snodgrass goal against Sheffield United.
No, against
the Hogan goal.
Oh, I don't know who it was.
It's literally.
I probably haven't seen Hogan. No.
Hogan's coming good now.
It's literally. It's probably one of the best passes I've ever seen. Like that.
Yeah, it is good.
It's definitely the best goal I've seen. It's Villa's best goal I've seen past 2 seasons.
Yeah. Lovely passing football.
Yeah. Snodgrass got 9 assists now.
Permanent signing.
Yeah.
When he's 31, probably signing for 9 million.
But if he had pace, Snodgrass had pace.
Norwich's books,
West Ham.
And Villa are paying 70% of his wages.
So Villa will be bankrupt soon.
Nah. Got some players leaving our books next season. Namely, Alan Hutton, Gabby. Gabby's on 54 grand a week.
Richie Delat, will he be leaving?
He's on loan at some
Antwerp.
Royal
Antwerp.
Yeah, he'll probably leave. It's a shame because he looked alright before he got injured last season.
Yeah.
But no, if we do get promoted, our team will get completely overhauled. There's not many players who will keep their place in that team.
Yeah. Can I just say a quick thing about Crew?
Please do.
So Crew on the weekend took 1,500 fans to Notts County.
Very good.
The tickets were £2, so
£2.
The whole ground sold out, and Notts County have like a 20k seater. So there's about 20,000 people there.
Was it like 50p for under 16s?
Don't know. Like it was. I mean, yeah, Crew made full use of it. A couple of my mates went actually. To the first Crew game they've seen in years.
Yeah.
And Crew actually took the lead in the 8th minute. It was all looking good. Former Crew star Sean Miller, back on loan at the club, scored the goal. And then after that, I think Notts County scored an equaliser about 8 minutes later. And then on the 36th minute, Notts County scored another one. And then on the 41st minute, Notts County scored another one. And then later in the game, Notts County scored another one. So
what was the score then?
It was 4-1. And Crew are in complete disarray. The actual majority shareholder of the club resigned from the board day before last, and basically the club are in dire straits. If Crewe go down to the National League, they will be dead as a club, and they will never resurrect themselves to the former great heights of the Dean Ashton Rob Hulse. Dean Ashton Rob Hulse days in the Championship. So so that's a lovely note.
And that is our summary of Crewe.
Yeah, just thought it's it's a nice little thing to see.
On the other hand, Shrewsbury are second in League One.
Yeah.
In their hands could go 5 points clear of Blackburn over third. If Shrewsbury get promoted in the Championship, that'd be
crazy.
That'd be quite a big deal.
Mm.
Very good.
They've not really got much competition in Shropshire, though, have they? It's a bit like Newcastle. Exactly, not much competition.
Yeah. I'm just trying to name any other team who are in Shropshire.
Does Shifnal have a team?
They've got a good airport.
I know about that, yeah. No, there isn't any others, is there?
Chester is not in.
Chester's in Cheshire, mate. I think we should just leave it at this point. Don't display a lack of geographical knowledge.
All right, well, with that, we will draw it to a close. Thank you very much for listening this week. And listen to all of our other ones if you haven't already. Thank you very much for coming on, Alex and Harry.
Thank you.
And
thank you.
Read the paper. We'll see you next week. Or we won't, because I'm not here. Bye.